Hi, everyone, or perhaps everyone in this case are those at home who feel stiff. And maybe you've never practiced yoga before. So if you're feeling stiff, and this goes for everyone and anyone, diving into something like downward facing dog, or if you like to do your chaturangas, even if you're a gym goer, weightlifter, maybe we want to lubricate the joints first before doing anything else. Get the blood flowing, and then also warm the body up, and so warm your spirits up, lighten up. So speaking of lightening up, let's connect to the body with a magical thing called breath, the breath that is with us all the time. So for those of you who've never practiced yoga before, yoga means union. And in that union, we're uniting the mind, the breath, and the body. And when we focus on one of those elements, the other two begin to progress and relax as well. So let's begin by focusing on our breath to calm the mind and get into the body. And then we'll use the movement to get more into the body, so the breath will soften and so will the mind. It's a beautiful trifecta that we love. So let's try that. So come up to sit in any way that is comfortable, sitting with your hips maybe either in line or above your knees. So I'm sitting on a block, and I change between cross-legged and sitting in hero's pose in Virasana. I can show that later. So you want to sit up with your back straight. And we're going to begin with the head. So we're going to inhale from the nose, and when you do, look up. And when you exhale, you'll bring the chin towards your chest without forcing. There's no need to go the whole way. So we're doing big yeses. And if it's juicy, you could stay there. You can stay there for a few breaths. And when you breathe, see if you can do inhales through your nose and your exhales in a sigh or out through your nose as well. And see if your breath can start coming into the low belly. You can take a few deep breaths in each spot. Maybe you look down a lot. So maybe when you look up, you get a nice stretch in your neck. You can even accentuate that stretch by pulling down with your fingers on the skin, maybe around the collarbone. And again, always being able to breathe nice and comfortably, nice and smoothly. The body likes repetition. Root down through your sits bones. You can close your eyes. And notice how something so simple can do so much. And maybe you're starting to slow down. Even I'm doing this for this video, and I'm slowing down. And then when you feel ready, you'll bring your head back to center. And we'll begin to look over one shoulder and then the other. And notice whatever sensations arise when you do that. Maybe you feel a little more tension or a little more freedom from one side to the other. If you're sitting cross-legged, you can always change the crossing of your legs at this time. Or if you're sitting on the floor in any way, cross-legged or on your knees, and you want to change the height. And if you're on a chair, I should have said that at the beginning. If you're completely new at this, maybe sit on a chair or on your bed, depending on what your quarantine environment is like. And after you've looked over side to side, we're going to do some ear to shoulders. Breathe into whatever you find. You could hold it. You can always bring your arm on the ground, your fingertips. And then to lighten up on an inhale and to exhale the other side. And again, like when looking left and right, you might notice a difference between one side and the other. Maybe closing your eyes will let you really go inside and feel. So we'll do that a few times, coming up slowly, maybe even taking the breath in between sides. The back of the neck is part of the spine. The back of the neck is part of the spine. And it's all connected. It's like when I pull one end of the sweater, everything else moves. The next one I really enjoy. So you're going to come down to one of the shoulders, and we're going to begin to roll the chin across the chest from one shoulder to the other. And you might find some spots that store something you didn't even know existed. Can you hear the sound of your own breathing? There are less cars on the street. So I'm guessing the answer to that question is yes. Maybe you are in a space where there are loud neighbors. Well, unless someone nicely asks them to quiet down, the noise may continue. So if you're not taking external action, maybe you can take internal action by coming back to the breath. And you notice something that you can't change is bothering you. And all of this, just like when you get on the yoga mat, just like when you play a sport or try something new, it all comes with practice. And then whenever you're ready and you feel you've rolled your neck or found a spot that's super juicy and decided to stay in it, you'll eventually, when it happens naturally, bring your chin back to the center of the chest. Take your time to find that inhale so that the in-breath takes the weight of the head upward. And you can notice how you feel. And maybe start to move in your shoulders in any free way until you naturally go towards circling forward or back. Notice if you're holding on or squeezing to any other muscle that you can release right now. Maybe you'll hear some creaks and cracks. In a certain moment, whenever you're ready to circle the shoulders the other way. And can you hear the sound of your own breathing? And depending on where you're living, can you maybe hear something else? Maybe you notice more wildlife around where you're living. And maybe you're starting to notice some heat in your shoulders. Notice how you feel. I'm just doing that. And we're going to open up the arms. Stretch them out through your fingertips. My hands are open, palm face forward, way out there. And you're going to cross one arm over the other. Grab your shoulders. You're going to press your shoulders into your hands. See how that feels, and then release. And then press your shoulders into your hands. You can close your eyes. Keep the back of the neck long in line with the rest of the spine. Back straight, and release. And one more. Press your shoulders into your hands. Whenever you're ready, let it go. And let's open the arms again. Wide, wide, wide. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Reach out. Let your fingernails grow longer. And then cross the arms over the other way. Same thing when you're ready. Press your shoulders into your hands. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Oh, that feels so good. And I'm going to hold this for a little longer so you release whenever you're ready. And that's the thing, you listen to your body. I think I'm not even going to release on this side. So you can press and release. Let's see what happens. Oh wow, my arms is so weird. Difference between one side and the other. Press your shoulders into your hands. Maybe you've done that 3 times. Let's open up. Ooh, your wrist just cracked. Hey, and then let's cross the other way again. And we're going to make circles. And maybe it doesn't look like circles for you. Maybe it's like, well, that also feels nice. So you decide, maybe you want to write your name. M-I-C. So yeah, whatever feels good. You can always go with classic circles. Whatever you're doing, do the other way. Maybe you draw your name à l'envers. So if you had an S, maybe reverse that S. Just try that anyway. Let's go for figure eights. Oh yeah. And we're gonna eventually open up and stretch. I really wanted to get back to that. Figure eight felt good. Oh, but it's a whole new experience on the other side. It's like when you write, if you're a lefty and we put your hand in the right hand, put your pen in the right hand. So take that time. So sometimes you're like, oh, I'd rather do something else. Well, come back to your breath. This whole thing is a meditation. Taking 15 minutes for wellness. It can even be just one exercise at a time. I always say if you know yoga, you can just take child's pose and hold it, or downward dog, or hold it, or lie down on the ground and hold that. You can check out my video. It's a study break video. I made it for school a while ago. With very simple poses, very classical poses. Oh wow. Notice how you feel. So we're going to do 2 more things here. One of them is going to be a lateral stretch and the other a twist. So lateral stretch. Let's breathe in, root down through your sit bones, reach up high, and whenever you're ready, keep your sit bones rooted. Let's come over to the other side. And breathe into whatever you feel. If you're new at this might be a lot, so respect your limits. And just like we did with the neck, on the inhale, you come back up. Keep the back long. So when you breathe in, you naturally might find length in the spine. So we breathe in to find expansion, and exhale, let the weight of gravity do its thing. Your neck, you can look up or you can look down, whatever is most comfortable for you. Wherever is most comfortable for you. You're not a better person just because you look a certain way. And try this maybe with your eyes closed. Remember, the body likes repetition. So over we go to the other side. And you hold it for however long is good for you. If you can breathe, you're in the right place. If you can't breathe, you've gone too far. And when you're ready, on an in-breath, come up. And on the exhale, go to the other side. You might notice that you're going further, maybe not. Maybe you're going less because you found a muscle that wants some love and you're giving it its time. So sometimes less is more. And the last thing we're going to do here now is a twist. So however you're sitting, bring one hand over the opposite knee. And then you're going to breathe into center, breathe into lengthen. Maybe the other hand reaches behind you if it's on a chair, or fingertips on the ground. Avoid yanking yourself. Just let yourself go as far as the body wants to go. You're not going to twist more just because your head or eyeballs are looking further. It could be quite simple, quite a simple twist. And on your inhale, come out of it, and on the exhale to the other side. And like we've done so far for everything else, is we're going to switch and change and rotate a few times, according to however long you want to stay on each side. Breathe into center. Make sure you go both sides evenly. So I was going to complete mine on that other side. You take your time. Maybe do less and hold them longer. And then take a few breaths. Notice how you feel. Maybe you even find yourself landing in a meditation. Stay safe, Stay healthy. Namaste.